The internet and the web were conceived as democratizing peer-to-peer platforms, unlike previous media that were centralized and controlled by powerful people. But what's happened over the last 20 years is that this new media has been captured by powerful forces, data frackers that use the internet to collect huge stores of data. They're building a new asset class of data that may be bigger than previous asset classes. We've got companies that are getting asymmetrical benefit, and governments that collect all kinds of data about us and are using that data not necessarily to our advantage. And in some countries, Iran and China, that are using that data as a powerful tool for control. It turns out that the internet and the first generation was good for certain things. It was good for communications in the early days of email. It was good for sharing information in the early days of the web. And when those two, communications and information, came together, it created social media. And social media brought the whole world into a new kind of collaborative platform. But social media is controlled by large corporations that are getting most of the economic benefit. And we have wealth creation, but we don't have growing prosperity. Is it possible that there is, if not a technological solution, a next generation of technology that can enable the true peer-to-peer world to flourish? Well, the first generation could not enable the creation of prosperity because it always required an intermediary. I can't do business with you without somebody in the middle, without a powerful bank, for example, to identify who you are, who I am, and prevent the famous double spend problem with digital cash, that I send you $20 and that's a bunch of bits, I can send the same $20 to somebody else. The only way to get around that is to have someone in the middle that says, no, you paid the $20 to that person and that's the end of it. We also have powerful intermediaries that provide all this value, for example, the big social media companies. We have powerful intermediaries like governments that do all kinds of things in the middle between various actors and players in society. Well, what if there was a new generation of truly peer-to-peer technology that enabled us to not only exchange information and communicate, but to actually exchange value, to create value and to create money, to create payments to each other without an intermediary? Well, it turns out that that's the great genius of blockchain technology, the underlying technology for the digital currency Bitcoin. And the blockchain enables transactions to occur where, rather than an intermediary, a crowd, a mass collaboration achieves consensus that that transaction has occurred or that value has been exchanged. And every 10 minutes, like a heartbeat of the blockchain, a block is created that shows a consensus view of everything that's occurred in the last 10 minutes. And if I wanted to go in there and commit fraud or try and make the same payment a second time, I would have to change that entire block that's been scrutinized by vast communities of people. In the case of the Bitcoin blockchain, by the mining community. Although there are other ways the consensus can be achieved. And I'd not only have to change that block, but because that block is linked to the previous block, which is linked to the previous block, I'd have to rewrite the entire history of commerce in the full sunlight of thousands and thousands of many of the smartest people in the world and the most powerful computing resource in the world. The case of the Bitcoin blockchain, the Bitcoin miners. So this is practically simply not possible. So this opens up a new set of opportunities that are mind-boggling. Wow, a truly peer-to-peer platform where powerful forces are not required. This could change not just money. Couldn't it change the nature of commerce? Could it change the nature of the corporation? Could it start to change the nature of governments? Because on the blockchain, we can store any kinds of information, really, that's in a structured format, and perhaps even not. Not just financial transactions, but we could store, say, who owns what house, who sold what house to who, what light bulb bought power from what power source and executed a transaction for that payment of power, who voted, what person sent money to their family in the developing world. This creates a whole new set of opportunities to construct a new set of business and social and governmental models that are truly peer-to-peer. So stay tuned as we continue to discuss this opportunity.